Welcome to the captivating journey through the remarkable life and career of RIC Ocasek, the visionary songwriter, guitarist, and frontman of the Cars. From his humble beginnings in Baltimore, Maryland, to his rise to fame as a pioneering figure in the new wave music scene, Ocasek's story is one of creativity, resilience, and artistic brilliance. So let's dive in. RIC Ocasek, born Richard Theodore Ocasek on March 23, 1944 in Baltimore, Maryland, in the United States, was raised in Cleveland, Ohio, after his family relocated there when he was 16. His mother hailed from Irish and Welsh origins, while his father, a systems analyst with NASA at the Lewis Research Center, was of Czech descent. Growing up in a Catholic household, Ocasek graduated from Maple Heights High School in 1963. He briefly attended Antioch College and Bowling Green State University before dropping out to pursue a career in music. Intrigued by the vibrant music scene in 1965, RIC's path intersected with that of Benjamin Orr's in Cleveland, where he caught Orr's performance with his band, the Grasshoppers, on the Big Five Show, a local musical variety program. A few years later, they reunited in Columbus, Ohio, reigniting their musical connection. Together they delved into performing and booking bands, laying the groundwork for their collaborative journey. Their partnership culminated in the formation of ID Nirvana in 1968, a band that graced stages in and around Ohio State University, marking the inception of their musical legacy. After exploring the music scene in Columbus and Ann Arbor, Michigan, RIC and Benjamin Orr made their way to Boston in the early 1970s. There, they embarked on a new musical journey by forming the folk rock band Milkwood. Despite releasing their debut album, How's the Weather, in early 1973, the venture failed to make a mark on the charts. However, it was during this time that future Cars keyboardist Greg Hawkes made his mark by contributing to Milkwood's album. Following Milkwood, RIC established band Richard and the Rabbits, alongside Orr and Hawkes, sometimes even performing as an acoustic duo with Orr. Some of the compositions from these acoustic sessions laid the groundwork for what would later become signature Cars songs. The duo expanded their musical horizons by joining forces with guitarist Elliot Easton to form Cap and Swing. The group's demo tape caught the attention of WBCN disc jockey Maxanne Sartori, garnering airplay on her show. Despite initial setbacks, RIC decided to redefine the band's lineup, paving the way for the birth of The Cars in late 1976, with Orr assuming bass duties and David Robinson on drums, while Hawkes returned to handle keyboards. RIC, co-founder of The Cars, contributed to their string of hit songs from 1978 to 1988. As rhythm guitarist and lead vocalist for most tracks, with Benjamin Orr taking the lead on others, RIC played a central role. He emerged as the band's primary songwriter, penning the majority of their material and sharing credit with Greg Hawkes on occasion. In the early months of 1977, the Cars honed their craft across New England, fine-tuning the songs that would define their debut album. A demo tape comprising 9 tracks was recorded during this period, with Just What I Needed quickly gaining traction on Boston radio stations. Offers from major record labels followed, with the band ultimately signing with Elektra Records. Their self-titled debut album, released in June 1978, launched them to fame with the track Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl, amongst others. The momentum continued with their second album, Candy O, in June 1979, which reached number 3 on the charts and featured the hit single, Let's Go. After the success of Candy O, the Cars released Panorama in 1980, showcasing a more experimental style. Despite reaching number 5 on the charts, it received mixed reviews. In 1981, the band purchased Intermedia Studios in Boston, renaming it Synchro Sound. Their fourth album, Shake It Up, followed, featuring a more commercial sound and yielding hits like the title track and Since You're Gone. After a 1982 tour, the band took a 2-year break for solo projects. RIC ventured into solo work in 1982 with his debut album, Beatitude, which offered an experimental twist on the Cars' new wave rock style. He showcased his versatility by playing multiple instruments on some tracks. Collaborators on the album included Greg Hawkes and Fuzzy Morse from Richard and the Rabbits. The Cars' 1984 reunion sparked their most triumphant album, Heartbeat City. Their single, You Might Think, won Video of the Year at the inaugural MTV Video Music Awards. Hits like Magic, Hello Again, and Why Can't I Have You followed suit. Drive, featuring Benjamin Orr on vocals, gained fame for its use in a video about the Ethiopian famine at the 1985 Live Aid concert in London. Despite not performing there, the song soared to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, with a music video, directed by Timothy Hutton, in which RIC would also cross paths with his future wife, Paulina Poriskova. The Cars' 1985 Greatest Hits compilation featured the hit single, Tonight She Comes, reaching number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Billboard Top Rock Tracks chart. As band members pursued solo projects, Rick launched his second solo album, Synthesizer Heavy, This Side of Paradise, in 1986, featuring the hit single, Emotion in Motion. The following year, the Cars released their sixth album, Door to Door, which included their last major international hit, You Are the Girl. However, the album fell short of the success of their previous releases, leading to the band's announcement of their breakup in February 1988. Following the dissolution of the Cars in 1988, Rick took a hiatus from the public eye. However, he resurfaced in 1990 with his solo album, Fireball Zone, which included the track, Rockaway, that briefly charted. Despite his efforts, his solo albums struggled to match the success he achieved with the Cars. Throughout the decade, Rick continued to release solo works, including Quick Change World in 1993. In the mid-1990s, rumors circulated about a potential Cars reunion to no avail, but in 1995 Rhino Records released Just What I Needed, the Cars Anthology, a comprehensive collection of the group's hits and rarities. Rick's solo endeavors persisted, with releases like Getcha-Ticks in 1996, a collaboration with Suicide's Alan Vega and Canadian poet Gillian McCain, and Troublizing in 1997, produced by Billy Corgan. In 1999, the Cars label released the Cars Deluxe Edition, presenting the band's debut album in a 2-CD format, along with complete greatest hits. Before Benjamin Orr's passing on October 3, 2000, of pancreatic cancer at the age of 53, he reunited with his bandmates from the Cars for one last interview for a documentary about the group. Rick and Orr shared a close friendship that endured despite estrangement after the band's breakup. They reconciled before Orr's death, with Rick honoring their bond with the song, Silver, written as a tribute to Orr's memory. In 2005, Rick released another album titled Nextaday, which received positive reviews despite minimal fanfare. In 2010, the Cars teased a reunion when the surviving members shared a photo and snippets of new songs on Facebook. They recorded a new album, Move Like This, which debuted at number 7 on Billboard's chart in May 2011. The band embarked on a tour but became inactive afterward. In 2018, the Cars reunited with Weezer's Scott Schreiner on bass for a performance at their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. They played a 4-song set, including hits like You Might Think and My Best Friend's Girl, introduced by Brandon Flowers of The Killers. Rick's creative ventures extended beyond music into poetry and visual arts. He authored a book of poetry titled Negative Theatre in 1993, which was initially planned to accompany an album and multimedia project of the same name. Although those plans fell through, Rick's artistic pursuits continued, including exhibitions of his drawings, photo collages, and mixed media artworks. In 2009, his works were showcased at a gallery in Columbus, Ohio, under the title T-Head Scraps. Additionally, Rick dabbled in acting, with cameo roles in films like John Waters' Hairspray in 1988 and Made in Heaven in 1987. Despite his success in the music industry, Rick expressed disdain for touring in a 2005 interview and ruled out future reunions with the Cars. However, he supported his former bandmates' decision to reunite, even giving his blessing for a new iteration of the band, dubbed the New Cars, with Todd Rundgren taking over vocals. In 2012, Rick released Lyrics and Prose, a comprehensive collection of lyrics from his solo and Cars albums, along with previously unpublished prose, poetry, photographs, and artwork. He also established a significant career as a music producer, collaborating with notable bands such as Weezer, Hole, and No Doubt, to name a few. Personally, Rick had been married 3 times. His first marriage to Constance resulted in the birth of 2 sons, Christopher and Adam. The couple eventually divorced in Ohio in 1971. Shortly after, he married Suzanne, with their marriage lasting for 17 years, having 2 sons, Aaron and Derek, with the union. However, during the production of the music video for the Cars' hit song, Drive, in 1984, Rick crossed paths with 19-year-old Czech-born supermodel Paulina Poriskova, despite still being married to Suzanne. Their marriage ended in 1988, and Rick tied the knot with Poriskova on August 23, 1989, on St. Bartholomew Island. Unfortunately, their relationship also faced challenges, and Poriskova announced their separation in May 2018. They had 2 sons together, Jonathan and Oliver. His eldest son, Christopher, pursued a career in music, forming the rock group Glamourcam, which released an album in 1989. Christopher also contributed as a solo artist to the soundtrack of the film Pretty Woman in 1990. Sadly, on September 15, 2019, Rick was discovered deceased by his estranged wife, Paulina Poriskova, at their shared New York City townhouse, despite their separation in 2017. His passing, attributed to natural causes by the Chief Medical Examiner's Office, was a result of hypertensive heart and coronary artery disease. There was a contributing condition of pulmonary emphysema. Rick, who had been recuperating from surgery, was interred at 9 Partners Cemetery in Millbrook, New York. In a twist, he had recently altered his will, excluding 2 of his 6 sons, and wife Poriskova, alleging she abandoned him prior to his surgery. This decision led to a legal dispute over the estate, eventually resolved in 2021 with Poriskova receiving a third of the estate. Though the precise terms remain undisclosed, Poriskova emphasized that the estate's value was not worth $5 million as widely reported. Despite widespread reports stating Ric Ocasek was 70 upon his death, he was actually 75. The confusion stemmed from an interview he gave in 1979 where he claimed to be 29 rather than his true age of 34 at the time. This led to a false birth year of 1949 being circulated in various biographies and records. However, government documents and his confirmed high school graduation date in 1963 indicate that he was born in 1944. And there you have it. As we reflect on Ric Ocasek's enduring contributions to music, we are reminded of his unparalleled talent, unwavering dedication, and boundless creativity. Though he may have left us, his indelible mark on the world of music will continue to inspire and captivate audiences for years to come. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more music icons just like this. Take care and bye for now.